prejudice. I may not have that much muscle as the boy over here. He was in the air directly above you. Not as quite exciting as our battle, but this match is incredibly impressive on a technical level.
So...
No tea.
No tea. Yes, I didn't bring tea again.
But it's been a few weeks since we've done these.
Because KB had a cold.
Yeah, don't recommend.
We are returning with some big news. Some big news. So, when we had to take a break, I promised that we were going to reveal something surprising about Prince You.
Yes, that's true. You did do that, and we've on hiatus with this for a few weeks.
Right, yeah.
Cold.
Yeah, and I was like, it's not what you would think.
Yeah, it's not.
Like, we've kind of known since the beginning that Prince You is kind of not what he seems.
Right. Something's there.
And I called him the prettiest of the princes.
You did.
And people made some comments about that.
They sure did.
And we started to think, is Prince You actually Prince You? Or, in fact, not princely, or a princely lady.
Which is possible.
And we've had some spoilers coming through saying Prince You is a girl. And at some point we speculated as much.
Which, whatever, is what it is.
Which I wasn't thinking that when I said Prince You is the prettiest of the princes. I just literally thought Prince You was the prettiest.
I kind of got, Haruka vibes for me. So I was kind of like, the whole thing with watching, Sailor Moon, Haruka. Yeah. Haruka is obviously a girl. Mm-hmm. And one of my friends is like, oh, yeah, obviously that's a boy. I'm like, he's not a boy, right?
So I figured that this is what... Did you have
But the reason for you, I was just kind of like, I don't know. It's just kind of like...
Yeah.
Your pretty comment helped too. Kind of make
my pretty comment helped, and it wasn't like I said. I didn't make the comment for that reason.
No,
I was just like, oh, the princess. That one's the prettiest one.
Yeah.
And I am bi, so I can find princess pretty, and it's not unusual. Mm-hmm. But we figured that's what you all would think was the surprising thing about Prince You, and that's not it.
That's not it.
It actually isn't about that.
It has nothing to do
with that.
It's
not about that at all.
It's not.
In fact, we found out that the same weekend that we started talking, okay, we met on a dating app. And I was like, hey girl, kind of. Something like that. I was like, who's that cute girl who has hair? She had really short blonde hair and looked like Spike from Buffy. And I was like, who's this cute girl on this dating app with hair that looks like Spike from Buffy? Let me message her. So we started messaging, and I was heading out of town for the weekend. And you were heading to something relevant. Do you want to share what that was?
Yeah, I was heading to... I'm trying to get the video from last time.
Okay.
When was the last time it was... Is this seriously? We haven't done this... Oh, yeah, because February 22nd.
I think the last 3 weeks we didn't do this.
So, it no longer is around, which is so unfortunate because it was such a wonderful time.
And
but there was Orlando Nerd Fest.
Yes, Orlando Nerd Fest. And that was a music-themed festival.
It was. So, basically, Orlando Nerd Fest had anime, and it also had video game music, all a big fun concert. You got to hang out with really cool people and get to jam out to stuff you really enjoyed. I remember they played, I can't remember, I think Reborn, something Final Fantasy Reborn or something Reborn was one of the name of the bands. And I remember getting their CD, and I was just like, it was so good. And I don't know if they're still active. I think they are based out of Texas. I'm not 100% sure.
Okay.
I'd have to fact check that. But
so I was out of town, and
you were out of town.
I'm messaging you from afar, like, hey girl, what are you to? You're like, I'm going to Nerd Fest,
I'm going
being
to Orlando Nerd Fest,
and hanging out with nerdy people and doing nerdy things. And while at this festival, something Prince You related happened.
Yeah, something Prince You did actually end up happening.
Okay.
Hold on one second. I'm just pulling this up real quickly.
Oh, you're pulling up our last.
Just to see. These. Yeah, because it's been a bit. I didn't realize it's been this long.
Okay, tell the story then.
So anyway, this was years ago, and I think this is probably also the last.
2015, 2016.
I think it was the last Orlando Nerd Fest, unfortunately, as well. And we got to meet really cool performers. Yeah. And at the time,
was it 2016 that we met?
We met in 2016, I think it was.
Okay, probably that year.
Something like that. But anyway, so I was hanging out with a friend, and we were checking out all this cool music, and at the time there was this really awesome performer, and this really awesome performer was a very friendly performer, and I'm an extrovert, right? Yeah. So if you're an extrovert, you think someone's pretty cool, and they're around, and they're not surrounded by thousands of people, or even if they are, you're gonna go over and say something, right? Because you're really I think it was a song or something, whatever it was. I went over at the time to what time was it? I don't remember what time it was. It was the daytime or nighttime. It doesn't matter.
It was daytime or nighttime.
But the song was really cool, and the performer was really awesome. And it turns out that the performer is actually the voice actor for Prince Yu.
Yeah, for the
English dub
of Prince
Kieran.
Yu.
And so it's crazy because I actually really hit it off with Kieran. We started talking. I got a signed CD. We exchanged like emails and stuff like that. Just was like really cool person, right? Mm-hmm. And so I was like,
so you go ahead.
No, go ahead.
You had told me that Kieran was the one who asked you to take a picture together.
Yeah, because at
you
the time,
came over.
Well, yeah. So because Jenny's mentioned a picture that she saw. At the time, I had my hair was blonde on the sides, and then I had like a red mohawk like
this. And that's how it was when I met you.
And that's how you met me.
Yeah.
And so that was kind of what made me stood out. And it was funny because Kieran like said I look like a cute maple leaf, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, you know.
You look like a cute maple
yeah,
leaf.
we hit it off really well too. So I found it was so interesting because I get to like when we're watching a dub, I say someone looks familiar, sounds familiar, or something. I just want to know who this character, like voice actor, is, right?
Yeah.
And then we look it up, and I'm like, holy crap, that's Kieran. That's voice acting you, who I met at Orlando Nerdfest and was playing some awesome music.
Right.
I was like, that is crazy.
Yeah.
That is wild.
But what was cool to me is that you went over and you told me that you both took pictures together.
We did.
Like, you took pictures on your phone, and he took pictures on his phone.
He did.
So he, like, somewhere in the far reaches of the memories of his phone might have a picture with you
Possible.
on there. So, and then not only did you exchange email addresses, you literally pulled up emails back and forth with Kieran.
Yeah, it was pretty cool, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
I was like, oh my God.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. Small world, right?
Right.
Because Kieran's not actually, I think, from the UK, but living in Canada at the
like
time.
originally from the UK.
I believe so.
But living in Canada.
Yeah.
And that's why you're like a cute maple leaf.
Yeah, I know, right? I was like, dude, this is such a cool, like, you know, because obviously this is years ago. And then I'm just like, wait a hot second. I know who the voice actor for Prince Yu is. I literally met him. Yeah. So it was pretty cool.
And he was like trying to hang out with you and stuff.
Yeah.
And you were really busy. You were a student. You were still in school then, yeah. So you two were emailing back and forth.
Yeah, we were. We tried to, but just, you know what, that kind of happens, right? Because I was also streaming at the time, too, on Twitch, and I was streaming every single day.
Oh.
And then I just, like, had to do other stuff because I just couldn't do everything, right?
Yeah.
But it was really cool, so, and I told Jenny about it. She's like, what? I'm like, yeah, here's, like, this and that.
Oh,
probably in the back of my phone, one of these days, I'll look, because I have, like, stuff on my phone from years ago. I'll probably find that picture.
Yeah.
Because if it was from, like, that time, I still have those kind of, I think I have pictures from 2007 or something on my phone still. So I could definitely find it. But anyway, that being said.
That was the weekend that we met.
It was crazy.
We first started messaging
we started chatting.
on a dating app.
It's true.
And you were out hanging out.
Then you got my phone number on my cell phone, though, because you said, oh, let's exchange artwork. And like, that's smooth.
Yeah. And you were hanging out with Prince Yu.
I was hanging out with Prince Yu. There's a lot of other really cool. The thing about it, all these people were so cool, right? They were so chill. They're all like, let's hang out, because there was like places to get food inside the event. Let's all hang out. And I did. I hung out with a lot of performers, and we ate like a lot of food. We talked about a lot of video games. Yeah, it was just so fun. And my friend's just like, how do you talk to these people? You open, because she's an introvert.
Yeah.
And like, you just open your mouth and have a conversation.
I get that way too. I get like kind of starstruck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I get so hyped up because it's like stuff I'm really into, and then these people are making like this beautiful magic happening. So I just want to like get to know who you are, as long as it's okay. Yeah. There was a couple shy performers, but they were still, she was still pretty cool, but she's still a little shy. I was like, a little shy performer, so cute.
Aw, the shy performer.
But anyway, yeah, so got to meet the voice actor of Prince Yu years ago, and that's so cool. That's so awesome.
Becoming Prince Yu. And then, like, here we are on our channel watching I'm in Love with the Villainess and reading, and you're doing Prince Yu's voice as you read, and you can just channel someone that you met.
I could.
The same weekend you met me.
I know, that's wild, right? Small world, right? Because like, of all the places, because obviously Kieran and I've gone to different events and stuff like that. I'm just happy to be Orlando Nerdfest, and I happened to go there too. And we were really hoping, like my friend and I, there'd be another one. And for whatever reason, I don't remember why it was, but they just never had another one again. But it had happened like the years prior. And I'm like, what more Orlando Nerdfest? The Facebook group is still active. The page is still active. They just promote other stuff that's just not Orlando Nerdfest.
Aww.
We also lost our anime thing too. We had that was in Orlando. We'd go to.
We had Orlando Anime Night. Yeah, they stopped having it. It was fun. We would like go eat food and they would screen different.
They would. But anyway, so that's the story that we had for y'all regarding Prince Yu.
Yeah.
But so now, as you can tell, we're going to be reading more of Villainess. We got past I'm sorry, but that's really cool. I did not
show
get
it. Show it.
No, it's a spoiler. Nope,
it's
not
not a spoiler.
I lost it forever. Actually, this opened up to this. We're not even there yet, right?
Okay.
Her magnificence.
That's why she thinks it's a spoiler. I was like, how is that a spoil?
But anyway, we're finally in chapter 2.
Yay!
And before we get into it, though, we do have some quick... oh my god, 3 weeks ago? It doesn't even seem like that long ago, but it is. All right, so Ruby D. Rose. On my reread, Misha is quickly climbing up to the fave ranks. Yeah, okay, Misha is great. Pretty great, right? So I'm appreciating getting to know her more.
Fair, though.
For sure. Michaela, my reading of Ray saying she's not sure if she's gay is that it's because she's in a younger body. Okay. Ray, before reincarnating, obviously had enough experience to know what she likes, but she's physically 16 and is talking to girls the same age. You're much less sure of yourself at that age, especially in the games time period.
And here's the deal. And we had gotten some comments from Paperback Wizard saying, like, there's some things that happened in the anime that we weren't remembering happened. And actually, we were rewatching that part of the anime, and she does say in the beginning, they ask her if she's gay, and her first thing that she said is something like, I'm not sure, I don't know. Right. So we were like, wait, she did start off with that in that as well. So we're going to do our best to say we don't remember this in the anime. Yeah. Because, like, the other thing was the score. We didn't remember, like, the scoreboard. They show the scoreboard really quickly, but in the anime, then they move on so you don't get to see it all. Whereas in the book, you get to sit with it and stare at it as long as you want. So we'll do our best to say we don't remember this.
I love this name.
Because we're never going to remember everything
from
the
name.
Anime. Okay.
Sir Giggles and Laughs.
Yeah, Sir Giggles
I love it. As for what Ray meant with the famous gay celebrities comments, I think she was focusing on comedians who make self-deprecating jokes about their sexuality or perform characters that are extremely or intentionally stereotypical. She was thinking about what might make someone make fun of themselves in that way and how they explain why she has also decided to turn herself and her pain into a joke for Claire, rather than being fully upfront. This comes up later when Manaria tells Ray that she's never fully confessed to Claire and always hides behind her jokes as a defense mechanism.
That makes so much sense. I really, and as you all know, I didn't understand what she was saying when she was talking about that. I was like, is that like a Japanese thing? But I've heard of comedians making, of course, self-deprecating humor, especially LGBT comedians. And one of my exes is a comedian, and they were saying like, oh, like I'm coming up with some jokes, and I'm doing some LGBT topics, and I was like, oh, well, what kind of jokes do you come up with? And they're like, oh, it's for a mostly straight audience. And I was like, well, what kind of jokes do they like? And my ex was like, usually jokes at our expense, and I was like, what? So I don't really watch that kind of comedy.
It's common.
Is it?
It's common.
And, like, my favorite comedian who I look up to a lot is Ellen DeGeneres. And I look up to her so much for coming out as a lesbian much before that was something that you did. Yeah. She really risked everything and lost a lot to live as true to herself. It was because she was at a drum festival, like, out in the woods, and she was inspired to come out, and I'm like...
Hey. I mean,
wow.
I don't blame her. Those
such a huge thing. What are you saying?
I would say I don't blame her. I mean, I went to Youth Drum Festival. Those things have like all kinds of different energies and emotions of flying. So I get it.
Yeah, but yeah, I really look up to her, and she was very not that way about her jokes and her humor. Right. She would make jokes that like anyone could laugh about or understand, or be like, yeah, that is funny when you're trying to get the toilet paper out, and there's just like it's like a streamer, and she's like, this is no time to celebrate. So thank you for explaining that to me. Because
we definitely appreciate it.
It's not a kind of comedy that I usually watch. Yeah, and it's sad to me that's so common.
And some people but the thing about it is I forget which comedian it was, because I like to watch a lot of them too, and she had an interview, and she said that she doesn't mind making fun of herself because she enjoys doing it, and she says she has a good time doing it, makes other people laugh, and she doesn't do it like in a really bad way, but she does like make jokes about herself. Right. It just depends on the kind of like, person you are. Yeah. And then when you want to read this one?
Is MC Pix 4448 says gay for Claire. Oh, for sure.
Oh, absolutely.
LOL.
Oh, nice. Absolutely. Who wouldn't be?
Who wouldn't be
Have
gay
you
for
seen
Claire?
her majesticness? Her blonde flowing hair, her piercing blue eyes,
Oh my
her
gosh.
fiery temper. She's just perfection, okay?
Right.
I don't make the rules, that's just how it is, alright? So we're finally on. Thank y'all for the comments, they do mean a lot. Also,
something else. Oh, God.
Go
Finish.
what?
I was going to say, Michaela also explained, funny you say that, because the term Rei uses in Japanese is Yuri.
Yuri!
So, yeah, that was because they were using queer, the word queer.
Right.
Which is, like, extremely vague and not sapphic or lesbian or bi woman.
Right. Well, Yuri's a fun term to use as well, right?
I like Yuri.
I love Yuri.
That's like, I mean, I like the term. Yeah.
But anyway, I appreciate your patience while waiting for me to recover. That was quite fun. Don't recommend ever getting sick on your birthday. Don't do it. Don't do it. Now you get to sit back and get read to. And next time
I have like a little water. It's like almost empty anyway.
So
okay. Thank you.
All right. So we're on chapter 2. I think I've said this 3 times now, but we're on chapter 2.
Where are we reading about to? Do you want to?
What?
Do you want to put this where we're gonna end?
Oh, I don't even know. We'll just figure it out once we get there.
Okay.
All right. What do you picture when you hear the word knights? Probably a strong gentleman clad in plate armor, right? Those kinds of knights existed in Revolution, but were considered a bit old-fashioned.
Oh.
The troops who directly served the kingdom were now called soldiers. The army was mainly responsible for protecting the borders against the encroachment from the neighboring Noor kingdom.
Wait. What did you just say? I couldn't understand.
Is that too fast for you?
No, I just didn't know. Encroachment. Okay, so there's other kingdoms trying to encroach.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Okay, gotcha.
Itchy.
I'm with you now.
Okay. Which had a contentious relationship with the Bar Kingdom. Their gear was generally not full plate armor, but leather and cloth that allowed for better mobility, primarily because the development of magical tools had done away with the need for heavy armor. That's actually pretty awesome, honestly.
Yeah.
Because I'm a big fan of knights in armor, but if I was going to wear a suit of armor, I know I would just be like overheated and fall over. So I appreciate that the magic can make it nice and easy to maneuver in better armor.
And it's like an interesting point to think about. That it's like they don't need that because they have magic.
Yeah, well, I mean, honestly, magic has just got a lot of awesomeness. Like, let's really quickly just go to Madoka for a second. When Mommy was gonna do her hair and then she had to get done quicker, she snapped her fingers and her hair did itself. Can you imagine how much time that would save?
Right.
Back on topic. The reason I brought up the Knights was... And so the Academy Knight selection test will be held for this year for those who are interested. It was Saturday, and the man speaking in the Academy lecture hall was Lord Krugetz, current commander of the Academy Knights. The Krugetz were a military family, with many of their members holding important posts in the army.
Oh.
As one of the first houses to recognize the importance of magic, they had employed teachings of Mr. Torrid early and thereby maintained their power despite the changing times. I don't know much about the current daughter, Loretta. Wait, there's a new... Oh, we get more backstory about a new character.
Oh.
Loretta, that's a pretty name, who was a member of Claire's entourage. Oh, that's... Okay. Oh, right, I think I remember one of the entourage, the girl with the freckles, her brother was the one with the freckles, who's basically the student council president, is basically what the Knights are. So I do remember that vaguely. Loretta,
yes, I recall.
Lorik had a personality stiff enough to crack wood. The Academy Knights were a self-governed organization within the Royal Academy. It was comprised of students selected from the Academy, traditionally from royal and noble families. The topmost of whom gave the authority equivalent to a teacher. It was an elite, consciously exclusive group that resembled a combination of student council and disciplinary committee at a normal school. Of course, as the name suggests, the Academy Knights were also expected to participate in defending the student body in emergencies, so it wasn't just an honorary title. I'm going to take, of course. Rod volunteered first. Of course, he'd jump at a chance to join an organization of power within the Academy. I'll take it, too. He was the next to volunteer. His magic level was average, but he had defensive skills he had been honing since childhood. They need to. Honestly, it sounds like a pain. Rod smacked Thane on the behind, and Thane raised his hand begrudgingly. Given his personality, he probably wasn't interested in being part of such groups, but it would be bad appearances if any royalty sat out. Interesting. I appreciate the participation of the princess. Anyone else? I want to try too, piped up Claire. Miss Claire, perhaps the load is a bit too heavy for a woman? How prejudiced. I may not have that much muscle as the boys, but given the prerequisites of wielding magic and performing daily clerical tasks, I am more than qualified to take the test of will.
Nice,
That's
Claire.
interesting, because in the anime they didn't have any problems, right? They she could just do it.
Yeah.
So it seems to be in the book, it's kind of like not really a woman's place. Interesting.
And she says how prejudiced. I'm like,
I know.
Claire.
Yes. She's just magnificent.
Oh.
Claire was dignified in her justification. Commander Lorik seemed a bit reluctant, but as capable commander, his hesitation was short-lived, and he agreed. Let's see. Then I'll take it too, I volunteered. If Claire was going to try, I had to join her. For love, incidentally, in the game, it was possible to be selected even without taking the test. Interesting. Claire's irritation when I raised my hand was blatant. You can't! Huh? How can you say that after you lost to me in every test subject except etiquette? Ugh! I won't lose to you on the next test you watch! Cute as ever. Misha,
cute
you
as
take
ever.
it too. If this peasant passes, someone will need to reel her in. I'm not Ree's keeper, Misha said, but she raised her hand as a number of other students did. Lorek jotted down all the names. The test will begin tomorrow morning. There will be 2 subjects, clerical and magic. Now, excuse me, Lorik said and left the room. Someone as lowly as you could never become an academy knight. Oh, yes! Claire stuck her nose in the air. It's exciting all 3 of you will be taking the test, said Rod. We're going to have to work that much harder than Thane, said you. I don't care. All the princes had come over to Rod, had the confidence to spare. You had just enough, and Thane just looked depressed.
Oh, no. Poor Thane. Oh, no.
Yeah, we're getting a lot more of Thane's personality. I mean, he did seem kind of like broody or whatever in the anime, but he's just like, I just don't care.
Right?
Yeah, I know, right? You're very loyal, Misha said to me. But you don't really want to become Academy Knight, do you? I just want to be with Miss Claire. I thought so. Misha sighed knowingly. She couldn't change my mind. Let's see here. Master Rod, do you know what will be tested on? All he said is there was going to be clerical and magical components. Claire said it was common knowledge that all generations of royal had belonged to the knights, so she probably figured he might know. You know, I can't tell you that, but you'll find out tomorrow. Anyway, you don't really have time to prepare. I suppose that's true. I, of course, knew it was coming since I had played Revolution. The exam was divided into written and practical portions. The written section covered academy rules and the clerical work. The academy rules were common knowledge, and the clerical problems weren't very complicated, making this a very simple test of intelligence. The real challenge was the practical section. This portion had previously tested students' handling of weapons like swords and spears, but had since shifted to assessing magical powers. As I said before, innate magical power was unrelated to family status, but since most of the commoners didn't consider being a member of the Academy Knights as a great honor as nobles did, not as many bothered to take the test. Commoner students were far more concerned with the official government examinations, which were more profitable than honor. While I was recalling this, Claire was glaring at me. Commoner, this will be our battle! I'd be expecting this. Claire liked competition. Yes. And this would be our second opportunity to face each other in the challenge. If you don't make the Academy Knights, then you will leave the Academy, she declared. What? No, I don't want that. Just think about it for a minute. Fine, then let's use the same conditions as last time. Wait a minute, are you going to trick me again? Oh no, she'd learned from her mistakes. No, I wouldn't be that mean. How about this? If I fail, you lose. If I pass, I win. Okay, wait, that would mean I lose either way. She'd noticed. I amended my conditions. Fine then. If I fail, you win. If I pass, I win. Can it be that if I win if I pass? But you'll definitely pass, Miss Claire. That would make it too easy for you to win. Fine, so what if you win? The same as before. You will grant me one favor. Fine. Then the battle is on. And just like last time, we swore to God in front of Misha. The following day, the Academy Knights candidates returned to the classroom. Good morning, Miss Claire. Let's do our best today. Shut up, peasant. I have no intention of failing. Oh, so you're worried about me? Thank you. I said nothing of the sort. Commander Lorik appeared and dropped a stack of papers, which seemed to be the test sheets on the table in front of the classroom with a thud. Everyone, thank you for your applications. This year we are planning to accept 5 new candidates. Please do your best. Oh, interesting. I don't even think in the anime they also had said anything specific about how many students could join, right?
We don't remember.
It's been a bit.
Yeah.
There was a buzz among applications. 5 fewer than had been generally accepted. I'd always known that, of course. First, the written test. Please note that this is an elimination round. Those who fail to pass will not be invited to take the practical test, but are welcome to take the test again next year, so we'll be waiting for your return. As the commander explained, a hazelnut-haired boy who seemed to be a part of the Academy Knights passed out the test sheets face down. The lecture room had become so quiet you could hear a pin drop. The air was tense. You have 60 minutes. Begin. Ooh, we get to know the questions. Okay. The written exam tested our knowledge of school rules. For example, question 2. Where's question 1? Okay, whatever. Question 2. List 1 or 2 acceptable punishments for a student who is late for a morning class. That was one of the easier questions. Question 13. Explain the objective of Article 21 of the Academy Regulations, the duty to suppress monsters.
Oh.
That was one of the difficult ones.
Yeah.
Since the extracurricular number and the name were provided, it wasn't nearly as bad as some of the nitpicky, malicious questions that sometimes appeared on Japanese entrance exams.
Oh.
Of course, it was more challenging for a transfer student like me, who'd only just entered the academy. Furthermore, the question didn't just deem route knowing knowledge. Some of the test your responses to practical situations. For example, question 18. Say you've taken over a position from your predecessor. Select the task that you should prioritize out of the following options. Number 1. Confirming the details of the job requirements. Number 2. Brainstorming with your superior. Number 3. Processing petitions from students. Number 4. Notifications to outside parties. Interesting. These kinds of questions didn't give students any background of an advantage. If anything, they could be slightly advantageous for transfer students who tend to have more experience with chores and practical life skills.
Oh.
Once again, though, these were multiple choice questions. In the game, I had to answer them in essay format now. I had all them memorized, so I was pretty sure I wouldn't be eliminated. Though I didn't know if I could score higher than Claire. I was more worried about making careless mistakes, so I reviewed my responses carefully. And once I was done, time's up. We will now collect the answer sheets. I could finally relax. The students immediately began chattering about questions and how difficult they had been. Please wait until we have your scores. A list of those who have passed will be posted on the bulletin board before the afternoon, so make sure to check for your outcome. The practical exam will take place this afternoon. You are excused. The students scattered in groups, and 2 of them. Miss Claire, how did it go? Who do you think I am? I would never shame the Francois name by being eliminated.
Nice.
It's majestic.
Oh, majestic.
She's just great, okay?
Now they have to wait
Now
to
we
find
have to
out.
wait. We have to wait to find out, you know?
Yeah.
She's not gonna fail, obviously. Wouldn't that be a twist, though, if she actually did? I'd be like, what are we reading now? I expect nothing of us, Miss Claire, but these are the sort of tests where you often get sidetracked by tangents. I'm fine. I would not. She was looking around frantically. Are you okay, Miss Claire? Do you think you'll be able to eat lunch? Don't worry about me. Forget about it. Let's go to the cafeteria. Miss Claire, are you inviting me out for a meal? Is this a date? A school meal for our first date? Why would I go on a date with such a pathetic maid? Let me join us for a quick lunch. The practical test was that afternoon, so we didn't want to eat anything heavy enough to make us sluggish. By the time we arrived at the bulletin shortly before noon, it was surrounded by a crowd of people. It looked like the results had been posted. Let's see. Excuse me, Francois is coming through. Let us by, please, I announced. Would you please not use my family's name in that way?
Francois is coming through.
Claire complained.
Cute.
But the Francois name provided effective, and the patch of the board opened up for us like the Red Sea had parted for Moses.
Right.
I bowed at the people as they made their way. Written test results. Number 1, Rod. Number 2, you. Number 3, Claire. Number 4, Ray. Number 5, Misha. Number 6, Thane. He's so excited, right? Oh, wait a second. He's number 6, so then he doesn't get to be... Does he pass? In total, the list had 20...
They decided to add an extra person, probably.
names for
Let's
those
find
who would
out.
be permitted to take one afternoon test. 4th place, not bad. Oh, look at that. No peasant can beat me. Claire laughed, looking cattily satisfied. It looks like you girls made it past the written test, too. That's good. Oh, wait, which one was this? I can't even tell. There's no one. You know what? It's going to be Rod, okay? Because this is something like he probably would say. Let me go ahead and do that again. It looks like you girls made it past the written test, too. That's good. The 3 princes also arrived to check the results. They had passed without difficulty, of course, though the lowest scoring among them was Thane. I suspect that bothered him. He had that old grim expression on his face.
Aw, Thane.
If I just failed this round, I'd be off the hook, Misha sighed. Oh, Misha, you passed too. Well, it wasn't too bad. Misha was acting nonchalant, but as a transfer student, 5th place was excellent, especially considering that I technically cheated to get my results. Although Misha had attended the academy in kindergarten, her house had only fallen into ruin after.
Oh.
I don't mind saying this, but anyone who couldn't pass this test has no business being an academy knight, declared Rod.
Oh.
That's right. The questions were so basic, you agreed. Only Thane was silent. The princes, well, 2 of them, made it sound simple. But of the 50 students who took the exam, more than half had now been eliminated. Those who passed the written test will now take part in the practical. Gather on the athletic field, Lorik announced to the remaining candidates. Let's go, Miss Claire. You will not give me orders, peasant. I can't wait. Already knowing details of practical test, it was hard for me to keep from laughing. I was going to enjoy this. The practical exam will be conducted as a one-on-one mock battle, commanded Lorik. The students before him stirred, perhaps recalling the slime they had faced a few days ago. Mock or not, actually fighting another person took courage. Those who prove they have what it takes to join the Academy Knights will be accepted, irrespective of what of whether or not they win their bout. Likewise, simply winning your battle will not secure a pass. I didn't know much about boxing, but I had heard boxing licenses were issued in a similar way. The loser of the match could be granted a license if they provided that their skills while knocking your opponent out with one hit might be considered a fluke and not count as a proven success. If there are no requests, I will assign your battle opponents. Based on the results of the test you took after starting at the academy, does anyone have any opponent they want to fight? Ooh, here we go. Yes, I want to fight Ray Taylor, Claire called out in her typical manner. Are you sure, Miss Claire? Oh, wait, are you sure, Miss Claire? The opponent you have chosen secured historical results in the magic portion of the test. That's fine. Okay, then, Ray, do you have any objections? None. I was so excited. I couldn't sit still. Anyone else? Let's see here. Who was it? Fine. I wanted to fight Misha. I wanted to fight Ray, but Claire beat me to her, said Rod. Well, yeah, that makes sense. He'd want to fight Ray first, said Rod, who had ranked 9th in the magic test. You might think he was taking on a hefty challenge with Misha, who had ranked 2nd, but, well, you'll see. Then I request to fight Thane, you asked. That's fine. You was ranked 9th, the same as
Thane,
Rod.
though.
Thane
was
was
like the Eeyore of the group.
I don't really care. Thanks for noticing me.
Actually, please don't notice me. Thane was 8th, so that would be no doubt be an exciting match.
Don't notice me, senpai.
Yeah, don't notice me, senpai, when you don't want your senpai to notice you. Incidentally, it was too dangerous to hold even mock battles using actual magic without protection, so a special barrier was set up around the athletic field through the use of expensive magic tool. The tool was primarily used for protective purposes during the war and was extremely rare. Oh, that's why. Furthermore, only a few people could wield it. Now, let the first match begin. Competitors, take your places. The mock battle proceeding solemnly. A number of nobles among the combatants had taken magic courses before secondary school, but that did nothing to improve their innate aptitude. So none of that matches were particularly spectacular. For fairness' sake, the only magical tool allowed was a magic wand. Finally, it was time for Thane and Yu's battle. Competitors, are you ready? Yeah. Then on my mark, begin. Thane stomped his foot in the signal to start, punching the air with his fist while simultaneously closing the gap between them. Yu generated an ice shield to block Thane's approach, but, The ice shield shattered to pieces. Yu's dignified expression wavered. Thane's fighting style was close combat, driven by his wind auxiliary magic, and was dubbed the Magic Warrior style. He didn't wield weapons and could generate power with his bare hands. Conversely, Yu's battle style was long range, driven by his offensive water magic. Though since his attribute was water, he could also use recovery magic. More importantly, his nickname was the Prince of Ice, though his aptitude was only moderate.
So Yu is the Prince of Ice?
Yeah, but she's also saying that his aptitude was only moderate. He was versed in ice magic. If his opponent had been anyone but Thane, his barrier could never have been broken with a bare fist. We watched in silence as still expressionless Thane took another step forward and released a magic-fueled kick. Yu realized he was at a disadvantage in close combat and tried to put distance between them, but it was no easy feat to shake Thane, who boosted the speed and power of his movements with magic. Determining he couldn't dodge the kick, Yu quickly generated a barrier of water instead of ice. Although the water barrier wasn't solid and strong as ice, it softened Thane's kick. Yu fell backwards, freezing the ground as he retreated, making it harder for Thane to get close. You're so impatient, Thane. I think I'll take my counterattack now. Thane didn't say a word. Yu lifted his hands, manifesting a number of razor-sharp ice arrows in the middle air. Go! The ice arrow barrage rained down on Thane at his command. Master Thane! Called Claire, watching from the sidelines, as if she thought he was genuine danger. Girl in love! But, The ice arrows bypassed Thane as he rushed forward, colliding into the ground behind him. He had surrounded his body with a wind barrier. But the ground! I knew what Claire was worried about, but Thane ran across the frozen ground with sure footing. In fact, he had created a solid footpath out of wind. He closed on you once more. Yu's expression stiffened, but only for a moment. Did you think you had me? Once Thane was a mere step away, icicles burst from the ground under his feet. He may have dodged the airborne ice arrows, but a wind barrier couldn't hold back these, rooting him. Thane's strategy was to kick down the ice blades. He then kicked up the shards of ice, obstructing Yu's vision and temporarily blinding. Once the shards of ice had cleared and Yu could see again, there was no sign of Thane. Over here. He was in the air directly above Yu. Thane dropped down behind him and held his sword to his brother's neck. Yu smirked. You win. That's it. The winner is Master Thane. That was actually a lot more interesting than their battle in the anime, because it was so quick in the anime, because they have to get through these battles, but the description, I'm like, damn.
Wow, a lot is happening right now.
Right?
So much happening.
The match had been on an entirely different level from the others that had taken place so far. The spectators roared with approval. Claire's cheeks were flushed, and she looked like she was wiped out. You're strong when you put your mind to it, brother, you said. You weren't even trying though, right? And it's like you you weren't even trying though, right? Oh. It's like you saved your healing magic for a special occasion. Come now. I listened to the princes bantering after their match. They were so cool. I mean, you'd expect so much for the game love interest. Many players decided to take Thane's route after seeing this battle and then regretted it later.
Whoa,
though in my
regretted
opinion,
it later?
Thane had a ton of great qualities.
What does that mean?
I don't know.
We don't know.
I was sure they would be asked to join the Knights after that battle. Well, I already knew what the results were going to be, but it was something else to see people actually using magic as they moved about. Hurrah for this fantastical world. Ninth match is Master Rod and Misha. No! I want her to win so bad. Take your places. Rod, lordly as always, and Misha, cool as composed, walked over to the center of the athletic field. Competitors, are you ready? Yes, ready when you are. Then on my mark, begin! Rod moved at once. He took several large steps back and spread his arms wide towards the sky. Bring it! As his voice echoed through the air, the temperature of the athletic field increasing a few sharp degrees. Fire spread across the field at about knee height. Upon closer inspection, the flames were shaped like little small soldiers, about 30 in number. This was Rod's battle style, called the Flame Troops. As I mentioned before, he had a medium aptitude for fire magic, which wasn't very high. However, Rod had an abundance of magical power, and he utilized that power to create a small army of flames to fight him. Charge! At Rod's command, the army of flames rushed Misha. Her expression remained unchanged. Even though this was the first time she'd seen Rod's flame troops, Misha had the same high aptitude to wind magic attributed as Thane, but there was a reason why she'd ranked second in the magic test, and Thane ranked 8th. Eek! A high-pitched scream sounded like nails on a chalkboard resounded across the field.
Over here trying to flatten my hair. There's like one piece of hair that keeps sticking out. I think I got it.
You got it?
Okay, we're good. Okay, can you read a little bit?
A high-pitched sound like nails on a chalkboard resounded across the field. Okay. At the same time, every single one of Rod's 30 minions exploded. Misha didn't move.
I remember those minions.
Huh? Rod, who'd gone into a match full of confidence, couldn't help but lose his composure. However, he faltered only for a moment and called up a fresh batch of minions. Charge! The exact same thing happened again, as if we were watching a GIF loop. Ray. There was a strange sound again, and once stopped, all the minions were gone. Misha had crushed the army of flames. So, this is your wind magic. Indeed. Unlike Thane, Misha's wind magic was a rare offensive subtype. She used magic to attack through sound, which had earned her the nickname Siren.
Siren!
This is annoying, isn't it? Well, I'm not going to change what I'm doing.
So this is the second nickname. So we have the Ice Prince for you.
Yep.
And Siren for Misha.
Rod summoned his army for a third time. Charge!
Woo!
The enemy charged again. This was an annoying thing about Rod's magic. He had so much power that he could just keep making more minions no matter how many times. Misha struck them down. Furthermore, Misha couldn't get close to him with the army in the way. There was another reason she was sticking to defensive tactics. Unlike me, Misha had absolute respect for the royal family. I was sure she would rather fail the exam than take the initiative to go attack Rod. This is boring. Rod. Dude, my bro. Rod snorted after his minions had been eliminated for the third time. You're not fighting seriously, are you? Are you trying to go easy on me? My blade is not worthy to be pointed at the royal family. Misha! No matter what you say, this I cannot change. Oh, wait, no. No matter what you say, this I cannot change. In that case, I'll force you to fight me for real. Oh, no. Rod, no. No, Rod created 30 minions again, but this time the soldiers surrounded Misha. You really won't stop holding back? Well, I'll make you regret that. He's such a... He snapped his fingers, and the minions started to explode, one by one, setting off a chain reaction that engulfed Misha. Rod laughed arrogantly, but then... You're unscathed? The flames dispersed, and there was Misha's smoke swirling around her.
The
a wind barrier.
siren.
But that shouldn't be enough to block out heat. I used a vacuum rupture. The same principle as a thermos, in other words. By creating a vacuum fault line in the space around her, Misha had been able to shut out the heat. Interesting. I wasn't expecting that. You certainly aren't boring. Thank you very much.
You certainly aren't
But we're not
boring.
done yet. We've only just begun. Take as long as you need. For a fifth time, Rod summoned his flame soldiers. He really had an incomparable reservoir of magic. Just before, the minions surrounded Misha, keeping a certain distance from her, but this time, explode. The minions burst in chains of explosions as soon as Rod snapped his fingers. He then summoned more minions directly around Misha, instead of in front of himself, continuing the series of detonations without a break. There were so many explosions that the wave of heat even reached the spectators. Rod was childish, but I did admire him a bit for not pulling his punches, even though his opponent was a girl.
Nice.
I surrender, said a meek voice among the explosions. That's it? Laura hurried to halt the match. Rod snapped his fingers, and the sounds of explosions subsided. What happened? Why did Misha surrender? Oh, that was Claire. I wish they would say this sometimes. What happened? Why did Misha surrender? Probably a lack of oxygen, I explained to Claire, whose confused look represented one with a spectator's felt. Misha's vacuum rupture created a severe lack of oxygen, and Rod's flames burned up the rest. In the end, the sheer force of his power had squashed Misha's technique. Well, that sounds about right, said Rod. I was completely defeated, Misha sighed. Don't be stupid. If you hadn't waited it out, it wouldn't have ended that way. I did my very best. Rod and Misha walked back to the spectator area, the crowd parting naturally for them. When you thought about it, the two of them could have taken down the water slime easily, if not for the hateful cry, which can immobilize opponents and drastically change the tides of battle. Meanwhile, Mr. Torrid and I had kept it at bay by nothing but sheer luck. Well, next up, the title match. This should be even more interesting. Let's see. Please, Master Rod, stop making me nervous, Claire said. But you don't plan on losing, right? Of course I don't. Let's see. I'm rooting for you, and for Ray too, Rod told us with a charming smile.
I'm rooting for both
Ray,
of them.
stop being so disrespectful.
What a politician, right? I'm rooting for both of you. They're competing against each other, my friend there.
Misha chided me for my casual reply. I didn't really care, because next was match 10.
Wait, what did she say to him?
Oh, she just said, heh.
Oh, that's what...
Match 10.
I was like, that's why I missed it. I'm like, she didn't really say much.
Miss Claire versus Ray. My turn with Claire. Oh, now I'll give you what you deserve.
Ooh.
Claire cackled. Now come on, let's have some fun, I responded with a smile. Fun? I don't believe a commoner can take me down. Do your best. Claire was so easily provoked. She was going to give me a cute, induced heart attack. Competitors, are you ready? I'm good. Yes. Then let the final match begin.
Yeah.
Neither Claire nor I acted on the signal to start. We were both waiting for the other to make the first move. Given her personality, I thought for sure Claire would go first, but she looked pretty calm. And me, I was biding my time because I wanted to play with her for as long as possible. Aren't you going to come at me? I was going to ask you the same. I have plenty of time. Oh, is that so? A wave of silence fell over the crowd. You really aren't going to make a move? Then there'll be no battle. Oh, wait, that's her, actually. Yay! This again!
Yay! Now we got to that part of the book.
You really aren't going to make a move? No, I'm just happy gazing upon you, Miss Claire. Are you trying to bait me? Claire ground her heels in frustration. Well, I can start it off if you insist. It had to be done. I raised one arm in Claire's direction. Shut. Claire disappeared into a shell of rock, then suddenly burst from the ground. I had confined her through the use of an earth attribute barrier, but the rock was soon shattered from within as Claire popped out of the cloud of dust. Is that all you've got? The rock had melted into sludge. No matter how weak the earth attribute was against fire, the melting point of the rock was at least 700 degrees Celsius and could be as high as 1200 degrees. Claire's magical firepower had to be extremely high to be able to melt that rock so fast.
Ooh.
Just more teasing! I created a number of small stone arrows and sent them towards Claire. Useless! The stone arrows were completely blocked by the flame barrier she conjured. Fire barrier without solid components didn't provide much protection, but Claire can make one hot enough to dissolve stone in an instant.
Oh, hot enough to dissolve stone.
Was standard for magic wielders, an all-purpose approach in which she can control fire at will, favoring neither defense nor offense. For her skill, she was known as the Red Lotus Queen. Oh, she's just so
The Red Lotus Queen.
That's the third nickname, right?
Right?
I'm coming for you this time. Claire deftly raised her hand, summoning a same massive flame spear she used against the water slime. It was shaped like a lance, used by medieval knights on horseback. I'm sorry, but we all gotta just, appreciate this, okay?
You're like, just look at it more.
Just look at it more. She's so pretty. She's about to, she's powerful, too, which is awesome. That'd be great, Miss Claire. You have superb instincts and unparalleled skill at controlling your flames. Shut up! Claire let out a cough. Disappear! She launched the flame spear. I responded by creating an earth magic barrier. Fool! Did you forget how I just melted your magic? Claire laughed, sure of her victory, but then... It's not melting! Why? Earth barrier in this word was often built of stone, but I had devised oh my gosh. You are a tungsten carbine barrier. Tungsten carbine was twice as strong as steel, and its melting point was actually 28,800 degrees Celsius. Even Claire couldn't melt this wall. I admit, science wasn't advanced enough in this world to people to know about the tungsten carbide. I was cheating. I knew it! She's cheating again! Just a bit by drawing on modern Japanese knowledge. So even a pathetic peasant can have sufficient aptitude, but how long can you keep it up? Claire generated another massive flame spear and launched it. It passed me, missing by a long shot. Turn! The flame spear turned sharply and hurled towards me from behind. I raised the shield barrier behind me as well. burst! Just before the spear hit the barrier, Claire snapped her fingers. The massive flames turned into showers of small bullets that whipped around the barrier. I win! She kept such ominous things, but oh so close. I repelled the flame bolts with the carbide bullets that I created with the flick of my wrist. Whoa, that was fast, I heard Rod sputter. Well, I was kind of cheating even more because I also knew all of Claire's tactics. No matter how much she tried to surprise me, I could tell what she was going to do next. Ugh, you're just a peasant! Huh? What happened? Are we done? No way! Claire magicked up some small army of firebombs. Master Rod, thank you, huh? The firebombs careened towards me, but I held them at bay with a barrier. It's not over yet! Claire kept hurling firebombs, non-spot, each exploding one after another against my barrier. I see. You said, finally understanding what was going on. Claire was copying Rod's flame troops. Claire had aptitude through not the sheer magic capacity that Rod had, so she couldn't completely copy him. But temporarily, replication was in her abilities. She was aiming to use up my oxygen like Rod had with Misha. Okay then, how about this? I moved my barrier outward and pushing back the firebombs and securing space to the oxygen.
Wow.
I expanded the barrier even farther and tried to use it to capture Claire. That's not going to work, you know. Claire was quick on her feet and dodged the barrier. Even without wind magic boost, she was impressively strong for a young lady, having been trained in not only literature but also martial arts. I was wondering.
She was trained in martial arts.
Yes. Rod and Misha analyzed the match like commentators. Let's see here. It's not as quite exciting as our battle, but this match is incredibly impressive on a technical level. Yes, you're absolutely right. Okay, Miss Claire, what are you going to show me next? The insolence! Claire stretched her arms out over her sides. 4 glowing crests appeared in the air and floated around her, the crest of the Francois family. I can't believe I'm using this on a commoner. Shine! As Claire spoke, heat rays lanced on the 4 crests. I rushed to throw up a barrier but didn't make it in time. This is a warning, Claire said as the heat rays flew past, searing the ground around me, actually vaporizing it. This was her trump card, an ultra-high-powered beam weapon called the Magic Ray. It launched so fast that it was almost impossible to track with its path with the naked eye.
Wow.
I can only shoot it a limited number of times, but you do realize my power now. You won't survive a direct attack unscathed. Surrender. Well, you're right, but surrendering would suck, so I'm gonna win. I snapped my fingers. The soil under Claire's feet disappeared. Ugh! Claire let an adorable scream as she fell, unable to do anything. I continued hollowing out the earth beneath her, digging a pit about 60 feet deep. Hey, stop it! Stop it with the simple magic! But it's effective, right? Unless your opponent could move through the air like Thane, this pitfall was surprisingly effective. You couldn't build a scaffold with fire attributes, and if the shaft was narrow and vertical, flame propulsion couldn't collapse on you. Some with a water attribute could float up slowly, but it'd be hard to rise faster than your opponent could deepen the hole. I will not accept this outcome! Then escape! Wait! Use your magic to make the hole wider! Claire, give up. Thane, who had been silent so far, finally said, What are you saying, Master Thane? I'm not done yet! You haven't noticed. Rachel has used her water magic, which is mostly effective against your fire.
Yeah.
I heard Claire gasp. Thane was right. The fire tribute was terribly weak against water, so I could have dominated Claire from the beginning if I'd wanted. But that wouldn't have been any fun now, would it?
Right.
You were going easy on me. Yes. Ugh! You're making a fool of me. So, Miss Claire, do you want to keep going? Of course I do. Claire wasn't giving up. She sat removing the soil around her with spells and fire magic, trying to escape by widening the pitfall into a basin. Miss Claire, keep going, I encouraged. You are really insufferable.
She's toying with her, though.
I know, right? My task was simple. All I had to do was keep replenishing whatever soil Claire had removed. This is mean. Ugh! Miss Claire, I'm very sorry, but I'm going to call this Miss Claire, I'm very sorry, but I'm going to call this match, said Lyric. The winner is Ray. Good work, ladies. And just like that, the curtain came down on the mock battle. Between Claire and myself, I brought Claire up to the ground level. I hope you know I don't accept this result. Claire was furious and covered in dirt, but I found that utterly lovely, too.
Covered in dirt.
I was a shell enough to not only want her when she was beautiful.
Ray.
In the end, 6 students passed the Academy Night exam, not 5, and they were the ones who participated in the last battle. Rod, Thane, you, Claire, Misha, and I. We received crests providing we were Academy Knights and marked the end of the selection test. But I still had business to take care of. Miss Claire! I know. What do you want this time? I'd won our wager again, and I already knew what my request would be. My favor is the same as before. Huh? Whatever happens, please don't give up. Hey, what's this about? I already promised that last time. It's fine. The same thing. Please promise me again. Okay, but that's all you really want? Yes. Fine. Then I, Claire Francois, swear to God to never give up. I promise never to abandon hope and to keep going until the end. That's great. This was truly the end of all of our competition. Miss Claire, I'm hungry. Let's go to the cafeteria. You're shameless after beating me in such a pathetic way. Thank you so much. I did my best. I'm not praising you. And just like that, we were back to our usual bickering. Please never change, Miss Claire, I said. Huh? What's prompt this? It's nothing. Let's go, Miss Claire. Hey, don't just touch me wherever you want, peasant. Claire didn't need to know what was coming. It would happen eventually no matter what we tried to do. That's on Nurse's hell. Yeah.
Are you to this part?
Yeah, I'm right here.
Okay, do you want to see how much is left in the chapter? We're at 50 minutes-ish.
Oh, we are? Oh, that's quick.
Yeah. Well, we also chatted in the beginning about our reveal.
That's a lot of
Okay,
stuff.
so let's stop around there.
Right here?
Yeah.
Okay. The Academy Night sounded cool, but the truth was that much like a high school student council in present-day Japan, they had a bunch of work to do. We had to deal with every little complaint submitted by the student body.
Wait, we're gonna stop where?
Here.
Oh, at the end of the page?
Yep.
Okay.
We had to deal with every little complaint submitted by a student body. Starting with this one, it seemed like there were multiple reports of ghost sightings in the girls' dormitory at night.
Ooh.
Claire complained about being paired with me to investigate the matter. Oh, I can't stop here because the sentence didn't finish. But
So you can finish here at the
right.
paragraph.
A
And maybe
poster
we'll end
made,
up rereading
so it was a
next
moot
time.
point. Today we were questioning witnesses one by one.
Uh-huh.
I don't remember this event occurring in the game, so I was super curious to find out what was going on. Where did you see it? I asked the girl student we were talking to.
Okay.
That's it for now.
We might start with that again.
Yeah, we probably will.
Yeah.
We probably will because, you know, that's kind of an interesting place to stop.
Right.
I'm gonna drink some water.
Thoughts?
That was wild. I still say what I've said before. Rod still gets to keep that voice because the dude is just so... He's just like this.
It just says he's arrogant, so
Yeah.
he's acting it.
He's got fans, and I get that. But right now, he's pretty arrogant. Even Renee's like, he's arrogant,
Yeah.
you know? And what he was doing with Misha, I was not okay with that. I mean,
Yeah.
when we did the anime, I wasn't okay with it too. But, like, he just kept going and going and going, trying to make her fight. And she's just like, I'm not willing to do that because she has respect for royalty. If that was Ray, she would have just owned him.
Yeah.
Because here's the thing. He's a fire attribute. Ray could have just used her water magic and then so, you know, she could have. But it's good though. It's really good. I really like how descriptive the battles are. It's just like you can visualize it too as you're reading. Oh man, it's just so cool.
Right.
And
I was tense.
Yeah.
Honestly, I was like over here like, oh, that, all right.
And that, yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Ray, though, toying with Claire.
I know.
She's like, she could have taken down Claire right away. But where's the fun in that for Ray?
I actually, you know what? I do wonder, though, because both Rod and Claire are very strong, so I don't know if they would get taken out that quickly, even though water is very effective against fire, and fire barely has a chance. But who knows, right? I would be curious to see water magic used against either one of them, because they are still very strong. And now we know that Claire does martial arts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's pretty interesting.
That makes sense, though, how she's so athletic, because when you go back to the anime, and she's, like, doing that jumping, she jumps and she's... like, I don't know what she does. She's sparkle and everything, but
while they're fighting the monster.
But she did that jump, and I'm just like, that wasn't her magic. Like, this girl's got some athletic ability,
Yeah.
and now we know why.
Yeah, martial arts.
Yeah.
It's kind of weird to picture her doing martial arts though, because she is so prim and proper, and she has her like very styled hair and everything.
Yes.
Picturing her doing that is like. I mean, we don't know what kind of martial arts, but it's kind of an interesting thing to visualize.
Well, yeah, she's an athletic, she's athletic, she's smart, she's got the magical aptitude or whatever. So she's got a lot going on for her. So she's just getting better,
Yeah. Yay.
Yay.
Any other thoughts about this part?
I just liked it overall. It was really fun.
Yeah.
I really liked, like I said, I liked how it was described and everything like that. And, it was nice to hear, like, the inner thoughts again. I like hearing, like, Gray's inner thoughts. She's so, like, snacky at sometimes. Just like, dang, okay. So, yeah, I'm enjoying it. I can't wait for more.
Yeah.
I think we're, like, halfway through now of the first novel. So it's like, hey!
Yeah.
What about you? Any more thoughts?
It's pretty funny.
Yeah.
Especially some of the moments between Rod and Thane. I like the way you do their voices. It makes it fun. Prince Thane acting over the top. Or no, Prince Rod acting over the top. Prince Thane acting, like, very dismissive about everything.
He just doesn't care, He's just like, leave me alone. Let me play my music and then,
Yeah. But 6 of them. There's 6 of them.
Yeah, so you're right. There's an extra spot.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
And they all made it.
They all made it, much to Misha's dismay and Thane's dismay, because I'm sure those two are just kind of like, yeah, we really don't want to do this.
It would be cute to get moments of them. Like, I know we have the ghost thing coming up.
Yeah,
But moments of all of them protecting the castle together and funny things happening. Having, like, a very slice of life kind of experience
I
of them
agree.
all together.
I agree.
Yeah.
Ah, good times, good times.
Yay! Yep. You're excited to find out what happens with the ghost.
Yeah, I'm excited to see what else. And I also like the fact that everybody's like, I don't know what's going on right now because this wasn't in the game when I played it, so.
Yeah. All right. Anything else to add? No.
Not that, I mean, I just, I want to read more, but we have things we gotta do, so.
Right? We have to watch Madoka next.
Madoka!
Yeah! We'll have that out tomorrow. All right, you all, thanks so much for watching. And if you've enjoyed watching this read through of I'm in Love with the Villainess, we will have our I'm in Love with the Villainess playlist pop up on the screen so that you can make sure that you watch all of our videos from I'm in Love with the Villainess so far. I've said that name now like 3 times in a row. It's a long name.
Can you say it 10 times fast?
I'm in love with the villainess, 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 and I'm in love with the villainess. I did it. Can you do it?
I don't know.
You don't know. Maybe we'll try
Next time!
All
Because
right.
I'm just kind of impressed right now. I'm like, wow.
All right. Well, thank you again for watching. We'll have that screen pop up with the playlist, and we look forward to connecting with you again soon. We'll be sending so much love. Till next time.
Laters. I say later.